Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 530 News on KPAX, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, I'm Dennis Bragg. Jill Valley is off tonight. Another snowy day, especially in northwest Montana, with more new snow falling in Kalispell today, according to the National Weather Service, and several inches more expected in the overnight hours. We should be getting used to this by now, right? The next chapter is likely to bring in colder temperatures to usher in Christmas weekend. And for more on what we can expect for travel conditions as we close out the week, let's turn it over to Chief Meteorologist Aaron Yost with a look at the first forecast. Aaron?
Yeah, Dennis, things going to be a little messy to start this long extended holiday weekend. If you are going to hit the roadways tomorrow, we do have this next system moving in rather quickly. Hamilton today, dry, cloudy. First Security Bank ICAM, a lot of us enjoying a nice break in activity, but it is all coming to an end rather quickly. Again, from the northwest, that next system already starting to bring in a little light snow to portions of northwest Montana. Winter weather advisory is now in place through 11 o'clock tomorrow night. Valley's looking at, for the most part, anywhere from 3 to 7 inches of snow. Mountains seeing more. Got a forecast update coming up shortly.
Missoula police say they no longer have a person of interest in the case of children's bone fragments found in a neighborhood shed, and it will be months before any test results are returned that might shine some light on the mystery. The remains were found in a shed on a property in the 2100 block of South 12th Street West in September. It's thought the bones come from 3 children under the age of 10, but that's about all investigators know at this point. Missoula Police Information Officer Travis Welsh says detectives were able to talk with a man with some connections to the property this week. He came forward voluntarily, and Welsh says there's nothing to indicate he's a suspect in the case, nor are detectives even certain there's a specific crime here. The remains were sent to the University of North Texas, but Welsh says it could be 6 months before there are any findings from those tests. Missoula police are still in contact with detectives in Michigan who are interested in any ties to the high-profile disappearance of 3 brothers back there. Welsh says no other law enforcement has suggested any connections with the Missoula investigation. Meanwhile, authorities in Spokane are on the lookout for a person who fatally shot a 59-year-old Butte woman and another man. Officials say Danette Kane, known by her family and friends as Dee, owned the Westview Manor apartments in the lower South Hill area where the shooting happened. Kane was actually supposed to be back on the road to Montana, but decided to stay one more night in Spokane because of the heavy snow in the mountains. Alexa Block reports.
It was a chaotic scene Tuesday afternoon as Spokane police frantically searched for a suspected shooter. They were called to the Westview Manor apartments on West 10th Avenue around 3 o'clock. Police found 59-year-old Danette Kane shot to death on a stairwell and a man with a headshot wound in critical condition. Neighbors say Kane owned the building and the man managed the property. A day later, people who live in the quaint apartment building are still in shock.
Gathered together this morning and we all talked about what we knew, what we didn't know.
Jeremy Logan lives on the bottom floor. He says since he's lived here, he's gotten to know his landlord pretty well.
He was our friend. He wasn't just the guy that collected our rent money and fixed things. He was our friend. Everybody liked him. Everybody got along with him.
And that's how Kane is also described by the people who live in her building. For now, the people who live here hope to find solace in the friendships they've formed with their building owner and landlord.
I hope they find out who did it.
Now, the Spokane Police Department describes the suspect as African-American between the ages of 25 and 35, and they hope the public can help them determine for sure if the shooter is a man or a woman and what the relationship is with the victims. If you have any information, please contact the Spokane Police Department Crime Check Program at area code 509-456-2233. In Hamilton, a local company is turning towards a new way of producing living spaces in an efficient and startlingly quick manner. MTN's Donald Lakatoa has more in this story.
Most construction companies don't start building a house in the middle of winter. But when the walls and roof are prefabricated, it can take under a week to finish a home, a process that would normally take 2 months. Whisper Creek by Rocky Mountain Homes has a different approach to building a Montana home. It's called Offsite Framing, a process that has all the faces of the house assembled in a factory and shipped to the build site.
What we do is we design the home to the customer's needs and the build site needs. Then we send those plans out into our panel shop where they're read. We have framing tables, so everything's laid out on the table, 2x6 framing. We sheet it, we put the house wrap on it, we put the windows on it, and then we put the trim on it, and then we put it on the trucks and it's ready to go out to the build site.
Normally, these walls would travel hundreds of miles to their destination. Now, the Hamilton-based factory is propping them up in their own backyard. This system of construction effectively allows companies like Rocky Mountain Homes to pump out houses en masse for very cheap. Panelized construction is quickly becoming one of the most efficient and innovative ways to build a home. Because the frames are built off-site, they can be designed and constructed while the foundations are being poured, which saves hundreds of hours of labor and a lot of money. A study from Pacific Homes showed on average about 40% less labor hours were required to build a home with prefabricated walls, and there was a 50% reduction in lumber waste on site.
And they saved around 223 hours on the build site. There was also a huge reduction of waste on the build site. And then because we're able to build them in our quality controlled environment, you have a tighter building envelope, so it's more energy efficient. Panelized construction, I think it's kind of the wave of the future. There's really a need for it. Because we have the skilled framers, there's a lot of areas where you can't find the construction laborers that you need, and so this is something that fulfills it not only for customers, but builders are also our clients.
Reporting in Hamilton, Donal Lakatua, MTN News.
The Hamilton-based Rocky Mountain Homes constructs these panelized houses all over the United States and even in Canada. Well, the end of the year is almost here, and for a lot of people that means it's time to get those last donations in to nonprofits. But in this week's Fraud Watch, MTN's Mackenzie Frost explains how scammers try and take advantage of your generosity.
The year is winding down, and many have their sights set on donating to nonprofits. In fact, the Montana Office of Consumer Protection says 11% of all online donations come during the last 3 days of December, which means the end of the year is also a big target for scammers.
The scammer is posing as a legitimate nonprofit, or they're creating a fake website and a fake nonprofit and trying to steal money and personal information from the donor itself.
There are many options of donating, like giving to an endowment. The Montana Community Foundation says that's where they can help.
Individuals or businesses that pay any kind of income tax in the state of Montana can make a gift to a qualified endowment, which all of our endowments are qualified endowments, and then take not only a federal deduction, but a state tax credit.
To donate and get any credits or deductions for this tax season, it must be done soon.
Technically, the deadline for all gifts for this year's tax season is December 31st. But don't wait.
Scammers will likely call you and try to use high-pressure tactics to get you to give up your money or even personal information. But when in doubt,
trust your gut. Frankly, a lot of scammers out there make a lot of money with $10 gifts. So do your homework.
That homework means being proactive. Make a list of who you want to give to throughout the year and make a timeline. Request information, ask where the donations are going to go, and ask if the money raised is for a specific purpose.
So if they're able to gather that information, then they can make that educated decision if they want to donate or not.
In Helena, Mackenzie Frost, MTN News.
We have more about what an endowment is and resources to find information about nonprofits online at our website. It was a very special gift from Montana to Washington, D.C., and now the U.S. Capitol Christmas tree is right there in all of its glory, with Christmas just a few days away. But what happens when Christmas is over? MTN's Nicole Miller wanted an answer to that question.
3, 2, 1. Today!
Speaker Ryan and 11-year-old Ridley Brandmeier of Bozeman officially lit the Capitol Christmas tree back in early December. And while the countdown only took a few seconds, the build-up took decades.
This tree has literally grown in Montana for decades, and during brutal fire seasons, braving harsh winters, reaching the height of almost 80 feet, it probably provided shelter for bald eagles and shade for elk.
As a seedling, the Engelmann spruce was nourished in the rich soil of Montana's Kootenai National Forest.
This Christmas tree not only represents the strength of our holiday spirit, it represents the strengths of the nation and our great state of Montana. Take a moment, look up. It is no surprise that this tree came from the Treasure State. Folks from across Big Sky country came together to decorate it with handmade ornaments.
This isn't one of those Clark Griswold trees that you can put in the corner to hide the one blemishes.
Chris Savage is supervisor of the Kootenai National Forest. He says in the end, the tree will essentially be part of the Capitol grounds forever.
The fate in the end is that, you know, they're very conscientious about recycling and composting, and so a lot of the ornaments had to be made out of recycled material, and so what they'll do is they'll chop and chip up the tree and use it for mulch back on the Capitol grounds.
Reporting in Kalispell, Nicole Miller, MTN News.
Tree traveled about 2,000 miles after being cut in November. Coming up, if you own luggage with the built-in tracking devices or phone chargers and may want to buy one for Christmas, you might want to think about it because you won't be able to take it on a plane soon. And if you have an older iPhone and think it's been running slower lately, you're probably right. Apple explains the reason behind it. That's coming up here on KPAX.